Well, hello and welcome to this week's Brand Breakthrough Show. I'm coming to you live from Manchester Piccadilly Station, and we just do what we do while we're on the move. And this week, I want to talk about something that could take your knowledge and turn it into an income that comes in from so many different avenues. Wouldn't that be good? Like, give me a thumbs up if that would be absolutely awesome. If you didn't have to be there to exchange your products for time, or your time for money, or be there physically to have to make that income. And what I'm talking about in terms of doing this is white labeling. White labeling is something that it's a fantastic way of you taking something that you've already created and turning it into a route to many different other streams of income, and getting your brand out there, making that bigger impact, but also making that impact on you at the same time. It's no good, you making this impact on everybody else if it's not impacting positively for you. So hello, for those of you that are joining us now. So just so that I get an understanding of where you're at now, have you ever white labeled anything before? If you could just put in the comments here now. Do you know what white labeling is? Would you like a further description on what that is? Hi, Alyssa. Lovely to see you. And we can play around with some white labeling ideas for you as well. Marta, hello. Great to see you on the Brand Breakthrough Show today. So just give me a sense of, have you ever white labeled anything before? Do you know what white labeling is? Have you thought about things that you could be white labeling? Hi, Adam. Great to see you. And, I'm really, let me know, where are you at on your white labeling journey? Because I've just been chatting with a really good friend of mine who was thinking, how do I create something that's a subscription-based product? Hey, hello. Good to see you. And here's the thing, it's like, there are membership products and there are subscription products, and I get asked all the time, what do I think the difference between a membership and a subscription is? Well, I see the difference in those two things as being a membership is something that, like a community, or it's a product where there's engagement, there's interaction. Usually there's a person who's leading that community, a key person of influence, a personal brand, whereas with a subscription is usually like a one and done sort of thing, like Netflix. They've created the products, they've created the programs, and then millions of people can get access to them. Like, it's unlimited the amount of people that can go through that process. Adam, yes, we white label a CRM, a mobile messaging program. Brilliant, Adam. Tell us a bit more about that, because here's the perfect conversation for other people that are watching it now, but also people that come and join us later. There's always a load of people that watch the replay as well, on different time zones. So let us know, what is that product? You never know who here might want to invest in something like that, might need something like that, or might be wanting to add that to their bonus pack or something. Alyssa, I've never white labeled, not sure how that would work. Okay, cool. Well, given that, Alyssa, you've now created your new vision, it's very exciting. This is an exciting time to start thinking about white labeling being part of a subscription. It could be a subscription, or you could be doing this as just on its own. So I'm just going to go through some of the things that I've white labeled, some of the things I think that you could white label, and let's just have a 15-20 minute conversation about how white labeling could fit into your product stack, your funnel, if you like calling it a funnel. And maybe there's some things that you haven't necessarily thought about that you could be doing. So here's the conversation that I was just having with a good friend of mine who's based in Vegas. And so he's creating a new product, a new program. For those of you that come to the Vision, Voice and Visibility Summit, you'll get a chance to meet him in person. He's our MC for all 3 days. And so we were chatting about his new products and services that him and his girlfriend have created. And, it was a really interesting conversation. Hi, Mark, it's great to see you. And so it's an interesting conversation. And so we're talking about the membership, and they've got, $10,000 memberships. They've got different products that they're thinking of making. They've got various different things. You'll find out more about them at the Vision, Voice and Visibility Summit, I'm sure. But I'm not going to name any names or talk about any products specifically, because obviously this is his business. So I just wanted to give you some of the ideas that I gave to him. And so he was thinking about, okay, well, if I've got this, big retreat, or I've got these bigger programs or products and they're like $5,000 or more, how do I create something that is actually fairly passive? Well, because I don't really believe in passive income necessarily. I believe that you can systemize and automate and set stuff up, but there's still some work that has to go into that. Even if it's not you doing the work, there's somebody will need to do the work on selling it, driving promotions to it, and things like that. So yeah, we talked about various different things, and I said, well, one of the products that I white labeled many years ago was a home moving magazine. And so what we did was, it was a 32-page magazine. Hi, Christina. It was a 32-page magazine, and 28 pages of that magazine we created so that any estate agent could own that content and put their branding on the front and back and inside front and back cover. Nima, hello. So yeah, we looked at how could we create 28 pages of content that was super valuable, but that the estate agent could put their inside front and back cover on, so they could actually sell advertising space in that if they wanted to, which would cover the cost of their printing. The idea behind this, which works really well, was that whenever you go to an estate agent or a real estate agent, there's usually 4 or 5 of them all in the same sort of area. Certainly in the UK there are, and so because there are so many people that are competing for what you do, it was, we wanted to give the opportunity to one estate agent to say, well, look, you know your customer psychology. They're going to go out there and talk to other people. They're going to go in another store. You're not the only person in your industry that does what you do. Very unlikely. There are big people out there that say they do what you do, even though they don't, and you've got a different way of doing it. But it sounds like you do the same thing. Like there must be, at least 1 million people out there that say they have branding in some way in what they do, right? So with real estate, it's a fluctuated market. Like, give me a thumbs up if you have that. It's a flooded market where you are as well, because it certainly is here in the UK. So what we did was we created this 28 pages of magazine so that we could sell it to one estate agent per postcode. So we were able to go in and sell the magazine. They put their branding on the front and back, and sometimes they sold the inside cover. You could get 2 half-page ads on the inside of each cover. That's 4 adverts that can be sold on the inside of that cover. And so the advertising pays for that. Well, then the brand exposure is awesome, right? So we had estate agents in all these different postcodes that were paying us £2,500 for a 3-month supply of these magazines. They were getting 2,000 magazines. We had some estate agents that came back and said, we've run out, we've been giving them out, we need more. So of course they then increased their order, and so we had capacity to fill that because we'd already done a deal with a really good printer. Hi, Kirsty. And and so that magazine, it just ran itself. All we needed to do was go and talk to estate agents who wanted to have the buyer's hook when they knew that people were going to be going and doing that anyway. So think about what your ideal clients are going to be doing. Hi, Amanda. Think about what your ideal clients are doing when they're searching for your product or service or membership or subscription, whatever it is. Where else are they looking? Like, they're coming to you, but who else are they going to? And if you know that they're going to other people, or they're looking for this somewhere else, or they're going to search for it on Google and get... Hi, Kim. It's a long time no see. It's good to see your face. Say, like, there's all these things that are happening out there, and it's all distraction that's taking away from your brand. So how can you be the only one that they remember when they've got, but it's a buyer's market, right? And so that's what we did with the magazine. I did something very similar when I launched another magazine called The Brand Brains. Again, think about the services and the products that you're already delivering to your ideal clients anyway. Thank you. And think about what you're already delivering, and then think, okay, so how could I create something that adds even more value to them now that they've closed the door and they've paid me and the exchange has happened and I've delivered great value, but I don't really want it to end there. Like, how can I continue to change their life or continue transforming their career or their business or their speaking, if you're Kim, or, Amanda, changing kids' lives? Like, how can you continue that process? So when we had a branding, marketing and design agency many years ago, I built that up over 7 years. We sold it in 2013. But during that time, one of the services we provided was branding. And so we created their branding, and then they'd say, well, now I've got my branding, I need a website. So then we did their website, and then they said, well, now I need people to find it. And so then we did their SEO. But that was as far as we really went. And we said, and there were clients that couldn't afford for us to continue the journey. So they just needed to be told what to do. And so I thought, well, what if I were to, back then, we're going back, 9 years or something when I launched that magazine, maybe 8 years. And, and I was thinking, well, how could we... Sorry, I'm at a station right now for those of you that are joining, so you have to forgive me if there's a bit of noise going on in the background. Hopefully you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. And so anyway, I'm there and I'm thinking, what can I do? And so I thought, well, I certainly don't have all the answers, but I know who will have the answers. And so I went to Jeff Alexander to write about SEO. I went to Ben Brophy to write about compelling videos. I went to the different experts that I'd already been passing business to so that I could have them write for the magazine. That way I wasn't 100% responsible, Peter. I wasn't 100% responsible for the time and energy and all the money that had to go into it, because they were all contributing to it, and it was leveraging their brand as well in front of customers that they wouldn't have otherwise had. So we started publishing that. I think the first issue had, I think that was only a 12-pager, and then it went up to, I think it went up to 24 pages, and then it went up to 32. So the magazine got quite big. And I started to do a double-page spread in it, and then we started to do a brand breakthroughs, which has become the brand breakthroughs show. So we had a brand breakthroughs in each issue, and all the people that contributed to the magazine, we said to them, what courses and resources have you got coming up that you could add value to our clients? And so we put them in. We did an FAQ section, and it started to grow and grow and grow. And it got to the point where in 2014, I think it was, when I just said, oh my God, we're at a point where this needs to grow. We had the content absolutely nailed, but there was a lot of branding consultants, professional speaking trainers, branding coaches, marketing consultants, business coaches, personal coaches that were training people and giving them, mentoring and advice and feedback and supporting them on their journey and growing their business. And so I started approaching those types of people and saying, hey, look, I've designed this magazine. I can put your branding on the cover, and you could sell some advertising on the inside, front and back cover, unless you wanted them for yourself. And now you've got a magazine that you could give to your clients. Well, no other business coach is doing that, certainly not in your area. So again, same concept. So the person I was just talking to, I said, could you do that? I'm not going to say what their business is, create an XYZ magazine. And it's something that is subscription based. So you've got your own subscribers. So you prove the concept, you prove how many people you've been able to get buying into this. But then you start selling the covers to other people in your industry, and that way you're no longer competing. You're actually giving them a solution that means that they can stand out and be an authority in their industry. But what you've done is, instead of it costing them like $30,000 to create their own magazine, or it's maybe not that much, but it was costing me, when I was publishing my magazine, bearing in mind I then brought an editor on board, so it was costing me about £2,500 a month to publish that magazine. But I gave it for free to my clients, first of all, because I kind of swallowed the cost in with the branding and the websites and stuff we were doing for them anyway. But then when I started to sell the covers, well, again, you're making like $2,500. So instead of it costing them not only $2,500 to go out there and source all the people that I'd brought in, well, they were working for me. They were physical employees that were also working on other projects. So it wasn't costing me anywhere near as much as if they had somebody design and build theirs. They'd be paying, say, £10,000 to £12,000 plus the cost of printing, and they wouldn't have the contacts. Whereas we could do it for $2,000. And then they'd get all these copies that they could be handing out at exhibitions and trade shows, and it'd be unique. Like there wouldn't be another person, very unlikely, because we made it very specific to a certain region and a certain area. So, you want to get your rules right around it, but that's something that can really work. Amanda, I've got an app that was white labeled for me. Perfect. And there are so many different options where, instead of you white labeling your own stuff, maybe there are some white labels out there that already exist, but you could pull into your branding proposition. So, for example, like Amanda, you wanted an app. If there's an app that already exists, that's already adding value to your ideal client market, and it's all set up, why would you go and build your own when it already exists? When we had our agency, there were various different things that we bought that were white labeled. So there was SEO products that we sold. We resold them. Like domain hosting, that's pretty much, that's white labeling to a certain degree. They're basically saying, here you go, you can buy the domains through us, but you can put your own branding on it. And, you can add that search engine into your website. So people could be searching for domain names through your website if you're a website company. So there's all kinds of stuff that you can buy that is white, that other people have already built it. They've already white labeled it. So that all you've got to do is put your brand on it and sell it. So there's loads of stuff that you could do. Alyssa, I saw that you posted something a little bit earlier. Let's go back to this. I can write mental health material for non-profits. Yes, you can. You could write, and it could be a magazine or a subscription like that. It could even come with some video training. Again, think about, you could create training for, a certain type of customer that other people want to deliver that training. So say it's health and safety training, or let's take that as an example, or Amanda, early years training. So when you're training your practitioners, instead of just delivering the training and they pay you, you deliver the training, they'll go away, they change lives. Instead of that being the only thing you sell them, could you create an extra added value training package that they can actually buy from you and then sell it as their own? Not just the app, it could be, for example, you've got your products and they are Action Amanda. Well, could they be co-branded? Could they be, play the Action Amanda way, sponsored by X person or in partnership with, that's kind of white labeling. It's not the same, but you could partner with people and have both of your brands on there. And that way you're reaching an audience at the same time that they're reaching an audience. So, magazines aren't the only way. Training material. Imagine if you had a career library, for example. You'd gone through all the hassle. You'd created a library with over 200 different, over 200 different templates on it, and you could approach other people who would really want that template, but they haven't got the experience, they don't want to go and pay to have it done, they haven't got the time. But what they could do is they could rent it from you for £5 a month or $5 a month. It's so good to see you, Laurie. It's so good to see your face. I've been watching you. You've been doing all of your retreats. I'm watching you do your stuff, and we just haven't connected. It'd be great to catch up. I love it when I see people that I haven't seen for ages. I'm sending you lots and lots of love. So yeah, you could package up your training. You could create something where you say, look, it's going to be a real pain for you, like Brand Builders Club. The Brand Builders Club, we have spent 2.5 years creating the most intelligent, dynamic brand builder system so that we could have 2,000 entrepreneurs go through that system on a completely different journey. And every single entrepreneur would get exactly what they needed out of it. And we have leadership teams all around the world that are there to physically support as they're going through the program. Well, we're at a stage now where we're thinking, okay, again, we can talk to branding consultants, branding coaches, branding companies, marketing consultants, marketing companies, business coaches, business consultants, people that have any touch point with a client, where accountants, people that are helping those businesses to grow, where they would love to have a resource like the resource we've got, because the more their client builds their business, the more money they're going to get from their client, especially with the accountant, right? So we love working with accountants because they refer business to us. We help that client to grow their business, and then the accountant has got more money at the end of the year because they're doing more accounts. So think about, what partnerships, who is there out there who's either a really complementary business to you, where you could be having a conversation with the same clients, or it might even be people in your industry where you think, do you know what, I've developed this. Oh, thank you, Laurie. Where I've developed this, and actually there's a ton of people who are in my own industry that could be buying this from me, and actually that could overtake the business that I've got. And therefore, why would I worry that I'm selling things to my competitors? Because they're only a competitor right now. If I focus on creating products, services, training, templates, in Laurie's case, you might come up with some amazing yoga mat that everybody in the world needs. Well, you might only sell that to other people in your industry. Is that Mike Triggers there? Did I see a Mike Triggers picture pop up there? Mike, come and say hello if you're there. Hi, Darian. And you create this thing and you could be selling it to all of your current competitors. Then they're not a competitor anymore. What you've done is intelligently navigate a solution that instead of trying to keep it all to yourself, you could be selling that to others. Darian, with your Profitable Ads Academy, you could create a book that's all about Facebook advertising. Keep it evergreen because there's so many things that change. There's some great things you could put in there. You could put little links to stuff to say, click here to find your latest update. So you're always driving them back to the main website. And then sorry about that, the train's obviously going to go soon. And then you get to a point where you could then go out to other people who sell Facebook advertising and put their cover on this. And that way it's all totally generic, completely generic. You've created something that's evergreen, something that can be sold to every other person out there that sells Facebook ads, that would enable you to look different to them. And it would enable them to look different to others. I mean, it's quite fascinating, isn't it, when you think about it? Laurie, could you create a yoga academy, an online yoga academy, like a section of it? So you have your own yoga academy, so you're making your own subscribers, but that there's an element of it that you could partner with other people. And, maybe it's in Vimeo, so you've got all of your videos in Vimeo, it's membership protected. But you could then, in each of those videos that you create, you could, in the privacy section, add their website address to it. So what you're doing is you're giving access privileges only to these websites that are requesting access. So all of my Brand Builders Club specific stuff in Vimeo, that's all the privacy settings for that is just for brandbuilders.club. Whereas if you were creating content that other people could access, but you didn't want them to find it like on YouTube, which is public, you could say, Profitable Ads Academy can have access to this. So when Darian's website provider says, I want to stream all those videos into my website, you can. Hi, Jamie Lee. So think about how you could be doing that. You could be streaming other people's content into your stuff, but more importantly, you could be streaming your stuff into other people's content. You have something that is unique, that is engaging, that other people will pay money to buy. And it's not just your own ideal clients that you could be selling to. Think about this for a moment. Hi, Paulina. You could be selling your service to one person, and that takes a lot of work, right? To sell that to one person. Or you could sell it to one person who has 200 members, and they pay you each month to subscribe to it so that their members have got access to it. Or they pay you more and put their branding on it so it looks like they're the ones that have created it. I want you to really think about that now and go away tonight, let this percolate, and for those of you that are in the Brand Builders Club, I wouldn't necessarily put it in here because this is quite a public group, and so I wouldn't start sharing ideas because other people will potentially say that's a great idea, I'll have that. But in the Brand Builders Club, everyone has signed a non-disclosure agreement, so there is no stealing of any ideas. There is only championship of rounding up the idea so that you can go out there and take that out to the world. So think about that, percolate on it, and Brand Builders, go into the Brand Builders Club group and share what your idea is for a white label product. And I will comment, make sure you tag me in, I'll comment, and we'll get the party started on what white label products you could create so that you're not just exchanging your knowledge for money, but you're exchanging your products for money because you've already sold the knowledge, right? This is exciting. Is anyone here as excited as I am about this prospect? Like, give me a thumbs up or some hearts or something, because this is really super exciting. So come up with your idea, share it in the Brand Builders Club group. And next week in the Brand Builders Club, we have a 5-step mini course, which we're delivering over the 5 days. So Monday, we'll be starting at 8 a.m. And we're going to go live every day. and it's going to be on the topic of affiliate marketing. So this is the next step really. So you've got white labeling, but you've also got affiliate marketing. So next week I've got 3 experts that we're pulling in to go through that process. So I've got an amazing lady, she's Claire Smith. She's one of our Brand Builders Club members. She has sold a lot of affiliate marketing products. So she's been on the other end of it to say, you know, well, I sold this product, but actually they didn't give me what I needed, and what I really needed was this, this, and this. And if they'd have given me that, I could have sold that straight away. This company, they gave me this, and this, and actually it made my job so easy. I made tons of sales with that. So I wanted you to have this perspective from a client's point of view of promoting something that is affiliate. I've got Jamie Gilliland, who is going to be sharing from a building an affiliate products point of view. So Jamie and her team have built and managed many affiliate programs, and the Brand Builders Club is one of those affiliate programs. So Jamie and her team built that for me. So she's going to be talking from a technical perspective. What do you need to consider when you're creating your own affiliate program? And then I've got an affiliate guru who creates affiliate products. So they'll be talking about what you need to think about when you're creating those products so that other people can buy them. So this is a conversation we're going to have over in the Brand Builders Club group next week. If you're not a member of the Brand Builders Club, ask me about how you can be a member. I'd love for you to come and join the family and be a part of the creation that we're building right now. And get your affiliate products out there. Get you creating the products, the services, the programs, the subscriptions, the memberships, the books, the speaking presentations, the webinars, all those things, the podcasts that are going to get your voice out there and get you heard in the world in a bigger way. So we're going to play next week, and I look forward to seeing you in the group. So take care. Have an amazing day. I've got to get on my train now, and I will speak to you very soon. Mwah.